gotta say, I'm feeling not terribly optimistic on finishing anything this week. 16%, 15%, 47% of Canadian fiction. Oh, I already finished that. And I will finish Swamp Thing, but they're not on the list. And then Pirate's Passion, 25%. And this actually, my copy's a bit longer, so it's probably more like 18%. So that's pretty much 15 to 20% across the board. Oh, Law's Guide, how I miss you. Everyone, it is Shannon, and it is now day 13, or May 13th, and let's see how yesterday went. So from the Structure of Scientific Revolutions by Thomas S. Kuhn, I read 10 pages, whopping 10 pages, and then from Blood Magic by Nora Roberts, I read 32 pages. I'm still having challenges with the page count percentage situation. I, again, added 32 pages to my previous 46 pages, and that put me in this overdrive version to 16.5%, but then it increased the page count from like 419 pages to 473 pages when I put it into my formula. So this is I'm seeing that this is one of the challenges I have sometimes with reading stuff on overdrive, because it gives you the pages in the chapter that you're reading and the percentage of the book total, but it doesn't give you the total number of pages in the book. So although I see the progression because of the percentage increases, if you click the center of the page, the 3 times I've read it, my estimation on how many pages are in the book has increased from 300 and something to 420 to 473. So that shows me that one of the reasons why I sometimes resist reading stuff on overdrive, like through the app on my tablet, is because this page count it feels what's that word? Unreliable is a little harsh, but it is. Like, I want to know how many pages I read. I don't want to be futzing over the math. I have a formula that I use to try and compensate for this. I've made an attempt. So it lets me know that I have some resistance there. Now, and that is because I track my pages daily. If I didn't track my pages daily and I just read whatever and didn't do that, then it wouldn't bother me, but I do. So it's showing. I'm trying to make good because it's been a stressful time. So anytime I can find some good nuggets of information, I'm trying to, hone in on them. But it lets me know that it's a point of resistance, and it is, it's one with, I'm sure there's several different solutions, because for every issue there are usually several resolutions. But anyway, it just lets me know that I don't know if I always resist reading, but one of the things that I do like about it is it lets you know always not only how many pages are in the chapter you're in, but what page number you're on. So it's like 1 of 32, 2 of 32, 3 of 32. So, and there's some books where it doesn't bother me at all, books like the Goosebumps book, because I pretend all Goosebumps are 100 pages because they're around 100 pages, so I use the percentage as a page count. I do the same with kids' books like the Hamster Princess books. It's the same situation. They're around 80 to 110 pages. I just pretend they're 100 pages and use the percentage as a page count. So it doesn't bother me for kids' books, but for other novels, and nonfiction, I can find it frustrating. But I love knowing how many pages are in the chapter. So give and take there. So I read 32 from that, and then I was hoping to finish a section of Polar Vortex to get to page 166. I read 4 pages. So my grand total for yesterday for the 5 books that I'm working on this week is 46 pages. 46 pages. So I'm up from yesterday's 18, like 2.5 times more, but still, I didn't hit my 72 pages. So my numbers this week have all been a lot lower. And there has been reasons, like this This is a more focused read. Both of my nonfictions are more intensive, more slow going. But I gotta say, you know, both of my urban fantasies are very fast paced. So yeah, but I have not been hitting my numbers. It's very frustrating. And yeah, so the current page count is 228 for the week. So I'm still under, and if I want to get back to, my now current average is 57 pages per day, and I have to read 132 today to get back to 72 pages a day average. Will that happen? Won't that happen? Will I be able to read 132 pages from all these books? Is that even my goal? I don't know. I gotta say, yesterday was tough, and today is probably tough as well. There's also lots of external stuff going on, like given like the world and also Ontario, and you know, like, so I'm a little frustrated and stressed with like lots of those things, and there's lots to keep up to date on in terms of, there's been changes in terms of like the vaccinations and decisions, and it's all complicated, and you know, and I'm finding it very stressful, and I don't want to go too much into that, especially since by the time this goes up, hopefully things will have, you know, changed again for the better. So I don't want to sort of sit with this, and I've done what I can do for, you know, like, and so I'm trying to be very good at, okay, keeping up to date on things. What are the things I can do the things that I can do, and let it go. It is not easy. I'm not always successful, but that's what I'm working with. So I don't want to get too much into external stuff, as I said, because a lot of it will change. One thing is, I did finish my Goosebumps book. Go me. Yay, Goosebumps. Do I have it here? Which was Don't Go to Sleep. I always feel like I hear them differently. Don't go to sleep. Like, I feel like I can hear a chorus of kids always like saying the titles. Not all of them, actually, but some of them. Don't go to sleep. That just feels like how it would be said if it was, I don't know. So I hit the wrong thing. So I did finish that. So I am going to take the win, and I was very happy to figure out that I read it in the commercials of 4 one-hour TV shows. So that was good, and that means probably I might be able to read one Goosebumps book a week, because I probably watch that many shows. I do watch that many shows. Some of the shows that I watch live, I do multitask, like I do download library books or update my spreadsheets and stuff like that. So I'm not always reading during the commercials, but I am at the point where I've hit the halfway point in terms of this series, and I have about, I think, 12 left that I can access through Overdrive, and then another 10 that are at the physical library. I've given all the things in Toronto, the rates in Toronto and stuff like that, like in terms of COVID. I probably won't go to the physical library this year again. I'll probably wait until next year. So, but it makes me realize, if I have about, once I get to, it's weird, the certain numbers where you're like, ooh, gunning for completion, but I could make it as a goal to work towards finishing the 12 Overdrive ones, you know, over the year or over the summer, or one a week or something like that. So I did. The next one was available, and I checked it by title, and it came up, but it didn't come up when I clicked the series. Earlier this week, I showed some of of the library stuff in terms of the series, and I was, and you know, it's true. Sometimes for some, it was tagged with the series, but the next one, I think it's Say Cheese and Die Again. It didn't come up under when I searched the series or selected the series, whatever. Anyway, so it's just, that's actually what I'm trying to say there is, if you can't find a book in one way, try searching another. If you can't find it under the title, look under the author. This series, it's convenient clicking a series and having everything there, but sometimes I find that a book can be also be there but not tagged with the series, as was the case with I think it's Say Cheese and Die Again, which is the next one. So that might be fun to do. It is not my goal for this week. It does not work towards getting down my currently reading pages or titles, but it is feels like an achievable goal, which I gotta say at this point is something I am thrilled to work towards. Because yeah, it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good. And I think yesterday even, so my happiness rate or my success rate or my satisfaction rate with this week has been way, way lower, and I haven't hit yes, no, no. I feel like there's been 4 days. Did I forget a day? I did. Today's Thursday. I forgot to fill out a day. I don't know which one it was. Well, see, I'm not even filling out my own stats right. Okay, so I gotta resolve that. So plans for the day, like read stuff. I don't know. I've had 2 days in a row where I've laid specific plans and failed. So I'm just feeling discouraged that I don't want that to happen again. So I'm just going to leave it open. That being said, I really do want to finish the next section of this. And I might lean towards reading Blood Magic and or Pirate's Passion because they are faster reads and I would like to get pages in. And, but do I have a page count goal? Like, of course, 72. But I guess what was the other one I came up with? 130. I don't even remember where it was. I don't know. So yeah, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And it sucks because these books are great and but my focus is off. And but there's other things to attend to and that happens and that's life. That's real life. That's it does happen. So so I gotta stay on top of there's another announcement later today that I need to see what the update is or if things are just going ahead as they have been. I do also have to prep my stats and reflection video because for April, because we're well into this month and I'm feeling like so disjointed from what happened in April. But I haven't even updated my spreadsheet, so I don't even have the numbers together. I have a sense of how the month went, in terms of what my goals were, because I know I didn't meet them. So I need to do that because I need to record it and upload it and do all of the things. I have something here that says on LA. Oh, Ontario announcement. So yeah, that's what that is. What else do I have? And wow, I'm still working on that last fishing achievement. Hopefully today is the day that crocodiscs in the city is available. That would be wonderful. I did figure out something in terms of the hunter character, how to get 2 pets. It's something that doesn't happen. You can't do it before level 15, and at level 15, your talents, press N for talents, and there's one called Animal Companion. When you select that, you get 2 pets, or your first 2 pets in your stable, I think, show up. And so now I have my raptor and my boar. And it's great because I have a raptor mount, I have a raptor pet, and I have a little companion that's like, it's not a raptor, but it kind of looks like if a raptor had like a really, really big head and a really, really short horn. I can't remember what it's called. I got it in Delirian in the exotic pet like something store, and I was like, so I'm like, I'm on a raptor, I have a raptor, and then I have a little raptor-ish companion pet. It's like a battle pet, and then my boar. So I gotta decide if I want to keep my boar as my second pet or have I think I only have a tiger and a scorpion, I think, or a crab or something. So, but I'm gonna move from Durotar to Asharza, there's a Z in there, I'm not sure, north of Orgrimmar, because that is an area I've actually never leveled in, and I was there opening the flight pass sometime recently, and there's lots of fun stuff there, because I think there's lots of goblin, like, city type stuff, and I love the goblins. They're so, like, they're just, I don't know, they're so enthusiastic, although they're not always someone you can trust. So I find it a lot of fun, and I've played the game a lot over the years, but I think that just ended up, so, Durotar and then Barrens, is just, and then South Barrens, and so I'm like, or Ashenvale, so I'm like, I'm gonna go to Ashara and see what's up there. There's also a fair amount of fishing. So anyway, that is the plan for the day. Obviously, I'm way more excited about that than reading. We'll even get to that. I don't know. I'm only planning on checking the fishing quest today, and but now I want to play my hunter, so we'll see what happens. Wish me luck on my reading and my videoing and the Ontario announcement. That's not my luck, but that's for the whole province, and so hopefully I think things are just going to stay as they are. I think we're not at the point of doing any changes yet, so we shall see how the day goes, and yeah, that's it for now. I'll be back soon. So I am going to work on my spreadsheet here. See, there's only 3 columns filled out. That is because April's not there yet. So, yep. Ooh, Kindle books read and unread. I forgot I added that. Oh, there's no total there. Don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, what is the total? No. No, that's not a valid formula. All right, time to get on this. As today is a day to enjoy anything that is enjoyable, because there's lots of challenges. This tea is so good. I don't know what makes one cup of tea better than another, and every once in a while you just get the perfect cup of tea. This is the perfect cup of tea, so I'm going to enjoy it as I work on these statistics. I'm glad I'm happy how I set up my spreadsheets, because it does make it very fast. I just put music on and then, or Dark Shadows. Should I watch Dark Shadows? No, I want to stay focused. Music tea stats. Okay, time to get some reading in. I forgot I also want to read some of Swamp Thing, and I have no idea what exactly I'm going to read. I'm just going to start and keep going and see where I land. So I have got some reading in, and an update to my previous clip. I had talked about, I don't usually talk too much about current day context stuff, especially because these go up later, but thankfully the announcement today wasn't actually too much of an announcement. They're just extending the stay-at-home order till June 2nd, so no change, and they're just hoping the vaccination rate will increase in Ontario. It's I think, or maybe Toronto. It was an Ontario announcement. They're hoping to get Ontario up to 65% by the end of the May, so that would be really good for first vaccination. We're doing 4 months apart for vaccination. I'm not going to go into it. Anyway, so, but thankfully there wasn't anything huge in the announcement, and it wasn't unexpected to be just continue with the stay at home, because the rates are still really, really high. So that's smart. So, yeah, so I was concerned, but, there's nothing too much different, so stay the course. So on to the reading. So I have done some reading. I haven't done the math yet. We get to do that together. I actually decided just to go with 2 titles and Swamp Thing. So I decided to forego the structure for Scientific Revolution for now, because it's a very slow read and I really would like to get some pages in. I finished the end of a chapter yesterday, so and I'm at the point where the chapters are pretty short, but still, I didn't want to risk it. So I read from Polar Vortex, and I did get to the end of the section. So I actually read a fair amount from this one, and it's really good. It's very in the thinking about people and emotions and reactions and responses and the right thing to say. And I find that, to be honest, a little exhausting, to that much negotiating and deciding and managing expectations and wanting to present in a certain way and trying to figure out what the other person is thinking. It's like, oh my gosh, just talk to each other. But it's also one of the themes of this one is secrets too. And so, but are there secrets? Is secrets from yourself? Secrets from your other people that you have relationships with? And as the viewer, as the reader, you're not 100% sure on, it's not like a thriller or something like that. It's all about relationships and history and you know, so anyway, it's very engaging, but I'm at the point where I want some action. I want some action, so, but it's really good. Anyway, so I did finish the section, which oddly has been my goal for the past 2 days, and today I said I wasn't going to do a goal, but I met that goal. So from that, I read 32 pages in 46 minutes, which is about my pace for Canadian or literary fiction, which is a minute and a half per page. So 32 from this. And then I decided to go with Blood Magic by Nora Roberts. And this one has been interesting. There's a fair amount of angst in this one because I had forgotten that the couple that it's following, because by process of elimination it's a trilogy, you know who the third book is going to be out once you've read the first two. Actually, I could tell by the first book who the third couple would be, because it's a second chance romance in a weird way. They definitely have feelings for each other, but they have decided, because of the best interest of, like, you know, magic and challenges and curses and the whole you know, this one has a bit of a, not a prophecy situation, but kind of I guess a curse situation. So they've decided not to be together because, you know, it looks like it will make bad things happen. So, but they're definitely interested in each other. So I had forgotten that was the dynamic. I just thought they decided not to be together. And I actually had to do a character card. I won't show it just because I don't know how spoilery it is, but I couldn't remember, because there's the three cousins and then three partners, and then there's also sort of like three people that in their history, like part of their family history, that they're sort of the cousins sort of represent, and then there's the original three's partners, and then there's the big bad. So there's a lot of people, and then there's also three animals, and there's a dog, a hawk, and a horse. A hound, a hawk, a horse. But I can't remember. And I think they tend to, the hound is definitely, is he a hound? Is in this one, but I don't remember if they're all three in all of them. But this trio, this three thing, the power of three, that is repeated throughout the different books, and also the history that it's presenting, or the story it's presenting. So where was I going with this? It was a good section. There was some stuff that was a bit complicated to talk to like a little, I can't, problematic is a potential way to talk about it, or questionable, but it's hard to say in terms of, I don't know where it's going to turn out. So I don't know about that, but yeah, I'm enjoying the story, and it's moving fast but slow. I don't know, what was I at this morning? I was at like 16%. This is the one where the page numbers and the percentage is all like 16.5%, and I'm now at 25%. So that's actually this is pretty good. 10-ish%. So according to the page count in Overdrive, I read 2 chapters, one of which was 24 pages. So 32 plus 24 is 56. Oh, and the second one was 23 pages. I think, make it? Oh, I made it 79. So I made my I made my 72 for the day, but there was more math. Oh, it's somewhere else. 106, was it 106 that I have to do to get back on par? I don't remember where I left it. Anyway, but I made my page count for the day. So if I read anything from the 5, I can potentially get back on track. So that would be Structure of Scientific Revolution, not likely. I could read some of Pirate's Passion and Diary of Anaïs Nin. Maybe I will try and do that later today, is to read a bit from each of these. This one's a pretty fast read, but I have been really tired, and I've had several early starts, and I'm not a morning person, so... And I thought I almost fell asleep. I took out my contacts because I kept on nodding off, and then once I took them out, I was awake. So I'm like, okay, glasses it is. I did also read a little bit of Swamp Thing, the saga of Swamp Thing, so I'm on to, this is the next issue within the bind-up. It's so funny, though, because if you look at this, like this, to me at least, very clearly sort of states the era in which it is. It came out in the 80s. But the bind-up for the cover does not have that feel to it so much, in my opinion, at least. So, but I did not know what page I was at before I changed it. Drat. Well, I will have to find it. It's a really cool story. I have no idea. I will do that later. I will not do that while we're hanging out. It's a really cool story. I like it. It's pretty, in my opinion, it's pretty rare that you see sort of like science fiction, speculative fiction, to do with the sciencey part has to do with like plants. So like plants and humanoids, like that's pretty rare. I can think of a couple of instances, but often if I would say what they were, they would be spoilers for the story, but so I won't do that. But yeah, so, and I'm enjoying it, even though it's a little, it's not too hard to follow without like reading the original series. I think it gives you enough, and it's got an interesting sort of entry point and to the story, so that it's very clear when you read it that this is not at the beginning, but the explainy bits don't feel too much like explainy bits. They use some devices that are often used in those situations, like new person has to be explained the situation, so we the viewer get to understand the situation because they are telling that person, and that's very standard fare. But for some reason it felt a bit, I don't know, it felt a bit more centered, yeah, so I'm curious to see where it goes. I think I'm around 70 pages of 200. That is my extra pick of the week. Every week I'm giving myself the 5 random picks from my currently reading, and then that's my 1 extra. So far this week I haven't touched anything else. I am considering going back to the Law's Guide to Nature Drawing and Journaling, even though the next section is on spiders. But it is a fast read, and even if I'm reading it outside the week in which it was, prescribed or whatever, prescribed, whatever, that is not the right term, it's still, in the end, is getting the page count of my total outstanding currently reading lower, because I did do the math on, if I consider, because I think it's, I was, at the beginning of the week, I was feeling like it was very likely I would finish 1 title. Now I am not so much feeling like that's going to be possible, because today's Thursday, my reading week goes till Saturday, and I don't do a lot of reading on Friday or Saturday. Now I could decide to do that to meet my goals, but honestly, I don't tend to read as much on the weekend, so haven't decided how things will go. It'll probably come down to how tired I am and how late I can stay up. So I think getting these pages in during the day has been great. Although yesterday I gave myself a fair amount of time and I did not get much read. But it still makes an impact on the greater whole, greater good, the greater good. Hot fuzz. But I wanted to say about blood magic, because this is not something I noticed something this time that I hadn't noticed before, and is that there's sort of like, and I don't know if this is ever used in this way, there's a fair amount of like flamboyant language, shall we say. There hasn't been, there was some actual swearing. I don't notice because it doesn't bother me too much. Particular words bother me more than others, and it's usually when it's like so much frequency that you wonder if there is any other adjectives on the table. Like, that's the only, sometimes it's contextual or whatever. It doesn't, generally speaking, I don't really mind one way or the other. But they use the word shagging as, like you would say, as an adjective to like flipping, like that, or freaking, or like that, yeah, like that flipping box when it open, like they would say that shagging box when it open. But it's like, in the context of a paranormal romance, to use the word shagging like you would, and like I guess you would if you go through all of the curse words you could use as adjectives. There are some that cross purpose, but in this instance, I was just like, would someone say shagging like that? Like, doesn't that mean something else? Not like words mean only one thing? And do people consider that a curse word? I would never consider that a curse word. It's a descriptive word. I don't know, but I don't know if it's used like with Battlestar Galactica, how they used frack, like as a replacement. So I'm not sure what's going on. Or maybe I'm just out of it and it is used as a curse word and I just swore on my channel and I didn't mean to. I have no idea. So anyway, but but I do feel like as I noticed it more and more and some more of the adjectives would come out, I did start to see some more like character within the characters. Like when they were getting frustrated, they would get more, they would use more adjectives, as we do. So I don't know. So anyway, I am enjoying it. I am trying not to be concerned with the fact that I don't think I'm going to finish anything. Like, hopefully I'll finish Swamp Thing, but I don't think I'm going to finish any of the 5. Anaïs, no way. Structure for Scientific Revolution, no way. Polar Vortex, probably not. I have 120 pages, so that would be 3 hours. I don't think I'm going to be able to give this 3 hours over the next 3 days, as good as it is. But I also really feel like out of all of these, it would probably be I probably want to carry it over the least. Although I really feel like because there's 2 paranormal romances, I should finish one of them. Although, if I don't, that means there's 2 paranormal romances going back in the pot. I think it's hilarious. I think I picked out the 3 that are on my currently reading have all come up in the first week. Maybe it is fate or something. Anyway, so yeah, I think this one would be, like, for me, like, if I was going to pick one to finish that makes the most sense, it would be this one. If I would pick the one that makes the most sense that I want to read, it would be Pirate's Passion with blood magic and just photo finish on who's first on that, except for I said which one. But yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it there for now for the update. It is a bit earlier, but that's because I needed to take a break and I have a bunch of things on my to-do list that now I have to do. And then eventually, hopefully, we'll see if Crocodiscs in the City is up for grabs, because that would be awesome. That would be so awesome to get that quest done. Then I'll have to figure out how to do the quest, which I don't know. There's a bunch of crocodile creatures right by the NPC, so I have a feeling I'm gonna have to attack them. We'll see. Maybe it'll be something else. I don't know. Anyway, that's a WoW reference. If that's the first I mentioned this time, I don't know if it is. Anyway, that is the update. So I got my page count already. That does feel good. I am behind though, so I think if I get another, around 40 pages, if memory serves, then I would get back to average. But I don't think I'm gonna. Well, one day at a time. Met the first goal. If I read more today, great. Let's leave it at that. Leave it on a positive note, and see how I do. Also got a little book mail. I will share more about that later. And dinner! Yay!
I have been waiting all alone for all of you. Isn't it time for the seance to begin?
Alright, let's see what Old Man Barlow has for us today. Will it be the quest we are looking for? Crocodiscs in the City, or something like that.
You need something?
It's the one! It's the one! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, I am so excited! Haha, here we go! And portal. Does it say where to fish? Alright. Let's try here. There it is, baby crocolisk. I thought it was crocodisk. It is not crocolisk. Yay! All right, back to Barlow. Woo-hoo! Achievement. So excited.